time.
Welcome back everyone to Summer Games Done Quick. We are finally back. Thank you for your patience while we were dealing with just a few audio issues. Coming up is Bucky or Air by Garrison, which you unlocked thanks to your generous donations. So this is Summer Games Done Quick, raising money for Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières, which delivers emergency medical care to people affected by armed conflict, epidemics, malnutrition, natural disaster, or exclusion from healthcare in more than 65 countries. This marathon features members from speeddemosarchive.com and speedrunslive.com, and we also have a Humble Bundle sale happening at humblebundle.com/Sgdq, where you can buy lots of great games that are featured in this marathon, and all the proceeds will go to Doctors Without Borders as well. We have quite a few donations to catch up, so I'll just go through, let's say, 4 or 5 of them before we get started. We have $50 from Nick3, saying, found you guys about 3 years ago and look forward to it every 4 months now. Finally have the chance to help out. Thanks again for playing games as fast as possible for a good cause. We have $50 from Low Zelda, saying, impressed by the skill of the runners and amazed at the generosity of the gaming community. Keep up the great work, everybody. $20 from Kiefer Richardson, saying, having a lot of fun watching the runs. Excited for Dust Force coming up later today. Putting this towards Dust Girl because she is mad styling. Yeah, keep going for that bid war. We had $150 from Figgy, saying this money would have went to helping Clage get to Sgdq, but seeing how he hit his goal in an hour, I figured it would be better to donate it here. Good luck, guys, and don't get screwed over by the gravity boss. Well, that happened. And we have $25 by Sgdq, saying, I'll donate another $25 if my name is pronounced incorrectly. So there you go. I guess we're good to go. We get a roll call and then you call it.
All right, I'm Garrison.
I'm Countdown.
Hey, I'm Darkman.
Rib Killer.
Here, Ramses.
Someone else? All right.
That's it.
Mr. MV. Get a countdown.
There's no camera. There's no camera on streams.
There's no cam. All right, cool.
All right, man, we'll see you later.
The hypest roll call.
We still have a bit of time.
I'm gonna turn this TV up a little bit.
The run back.
Okay, while we wait for the cam, I'd just like also to remind you that, to tell you that the F-Zero GX versus Mario Kart 64 Bid War is not happening anymore. So if you have donated for F-Zero GX, you can go on irc.speeddemorsarchive.com channel. Oh, is it on QuakeNet? I'm feeling stupid right now. Anyway, go to IRC Speed Demos SDM Marathon and you can actually redirect your bid.
Hype.
Dude, now there's only webcam, no
Cam, but no game.
I like it. It's an improvement.
We need to.
It's an improvement.
It's an improvement. I agree.
There's no game, so we have to like talk, like say what we're doing the whole time. Alright, he's jumping, he shot.
The true media commentary.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'll go through a few more donations. The game isn't on screen yet.
Not much, really.
All right, so we had also $50 from Joel3 saying Sweden representing. Shoutouts to my people over at the Vine. Summer Games Done Quick is the ultimate comfy mode thing to watch. P.S. Winnie Vampires. We have $40 from Steve Z. Awesome games, awesome runs, awesome cause. Since I've been watching the stream practically non-stop, it's time to do my part for Doctors Without Borders. Good luck to the current and future runners. May the Aaron Jesus be ever in your favor. Putting this towards PJ's, Super Ghouls and Ghost All Weapon speedrun. Let the blade trolling comments.
Doesn't matter, dude. Nobody can see him.
Alright. Sorry.
The only one that matters is you.
I'm trying to help out. The only one that matters is you.
Stream is going to go down again very briefly. Sorry for the inconvenience. We'll be back very soon.
I'm enjoying myself
The whole time. As long as you're having fun, that's what matters.
Sitting here waiting, yeah, it's good.
All right.
Dude, I would be like a mental wreck if I was sitting here waiting for 15 minutes.
So we are back, and we're going to start this run any moment now.
Now I'm gone from the couch.
Alright, we'll see you, man.
Alright, well, see you later.
Not important.
Bye.
Alright.
Ripped Killer.
Yo, Ramses is on.
There it is.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Oops. What?
False start.
Okay.
He's got to put the password in.
-5.
3, 2, 1, go. So Bucky O'Hare is a Konami game pretty late in the NES's lifespan. It was made by the people who went on to make Treasure. It's a very interesting game. There's a lot of gimmicks. And hard mode really makes the game very interesting to run because essentially your entire life bar is meaningless and everything will one-shot you. So there's a lot of interesting strategies to try and avoid damage. Some situations where you have to wait. It's got a few nice glitches as well. This game is very quirky in general. Like, this tree is very finicky. It's kind of, if you don't do the jumps right, it doesn't scroll properly.
So, interesting note about hard mode. It was actually never intended to be like part of the game. It was actually an anti-piracy measure. So, but now that we have the passcode to actually get hard mode.
Yeah, basically it was just made to people who pirated the game couldn't beat it. So as such, it's very challenging to play through casually, let alone speedrun. Green Planet is fairly straightforward. Aside from the tree, all the platforming is pretty simple. The rocks here is pretty much always going to be the same in any run, unless you die. Once you die, the pattern is just kind of random.
You're gonna see him stop walking a few times here, and it's,
Well,
it's
like
mainly
that.
because he wants to avoid doing that.
Basically, the lasers here and the bullets, they're all in a set pattern. So it's the same the entire time. So you can devise a strategy to go in a certain and stop at certain times in order to progress. Also, as of note, as you can see, a lot of the early bosses in this game are very mash heavy. There's not really much of an invulnerability period, and bosses take a lot of hits to kill.
Nice.
Good job.
So beating Green Planet gives us one of our 5 playable characters. We start with Bucky O'Hare, and we get Blinky the robot, who is able to destroy ice. And he's important because Blue Planet is meant to be played later on. And the character you get from Blue Planet is very useful for bosses.
And they hide enemies in those blocks because they really want you to get hurt. These snakes are also on like sort of a cycle that he's waiting there on that block so he can have that snake on screen but not that one. Otherwise he would die if he was scrolled too far to the left. Or to the right rather. Coming up is one of the hardest auto-scrollers in video games.
Yeah, I'd say in speedrunning in general, it's probably the hardest auto-scroller just because it's so random and punishing.
So basically, you're gonna have to be waiting for this entire iceberg to clear into like this really small shape, and they'll come in intervals, like as you can see, the ship dropped a little thing to kill it. But in the meantime, the enemies come at random intervals, and they come from random directions, so you really have no idea where they're gonna come from. And on top of that, to make matters worse, the iceberg itself actually bobs up and down, and what it does is it actually sometimes throws you up, and when it throws you up slightly, you can't jump, which really throws you off your game.
Or duck.
Yeah, because you're just momentarily in the air.
Nice.
There we go. To give you an idea of how difficult that is, there was a race of that in hard mode, and it took some people as much as 3 hours to clear that section.
Just that one screen. Still have nightmares.
That jump is very tricky to try and make that cycle. Let's say it's just like a very small cycle.
Alright, so this boss is basically, it's a really mash-heavy boss. You need to shoot it 100 times for it to die. And the missiles it throws are in a set pattern, so they always will be the same thing every time. And of course, it'll keep throwing ice and the water will rise until you hit the spikes, but Gary's going to be killing him way before that happens.
And it's not random when he shoots when he freezes the water either. It's
really nice.
It varies in time. But
fairly decent kill. But now that we got that, we got Ginny, the psychic cat, who basically is just going to be the boss killer for the rest of the run.
Yeah, Ginny has a channeled attack where she can't move, but you can control this little ball, and it just does damage over time in a crazy way.
Basically, we go from mash heavy to just fire the orb for victory.
It's very powerful.
But it's not at all easy, by the way. Controlling where this orb moves is super finicky.
It's very erratic. It moves very quickly, so it's just trying to manage it.
So you're doing very light D-pad inputs, just taps.
This game has a lot of weird physics quirks, like the corners of pretty much every platform. If you hit them, like land on them, you'll get zipped either downwards or upwards, and in the case of like this screen, if you get zipped upwards, you're just dead.
I was gonna grab that power up there for Jenny. It allows her to use the spirit bomb for longer, and you know, essentially quick kill bosses faster and more safely.
Yeah, you keep your power-ups throughout the course of the game. Does it reset on game over? I don't remember. No, it doesn't. Yeah. So you want to make sure the right characters pick up the right power-ups at certain times.
Mainly just Jenny.
But I believe others pick it up as well.
Yeah, Ginny, you really need to be powered up. The other ones are kind of more debatable.
I can't believe you're doing this screen with Blinky.
Yeah, so those the little green balls there, they also are also.
Oh.
It's really hard to get at like the quick cycle because you have to be really fast killing them.
The enemy spawns on that stage are cycle based, so it's basically when he scrolls them on screen.
There's a lot of reaction to it because depending on how long you hold jump, you may or may not scroll an enemy when you're expecting to appear.
There we go.
Good job.
Coming up on this screen.
That jump is
I'll
pretty
just stop
tight.
talking.
Nah, that jump is just very tight.
Yeah. Coming up on this screen, he's going to die on purpose, actually. If you die while some moving object is carrying you over a screen transition, the game actually warps you forward a few acts. And he got it.
There you
So
go.
that death was completely purposeful.
So this is going to take him to the boss and skip a long auto-scroller act, which is really annoying. And so here's Jenny.
And welcome to Jenny, the overpowered person. There you go. You're actually going to see him death warp in a later stage as well. Actually, it should be coming up fairly soon.
Yeah, the death orb in this next stage is actually very common. A lot of players find it on their own just because this level has a lot of platforms.
Yeah, Ult on Act 1 requires a really specific timing jump at the beginning, and then also right here to get past these green snakes. They're really a pain.
So, like, he's manipulating their AI in such a way, like when they're halfway out of the ground or a certain way out, he'll jump up and to the right so that they start moving upward to follow him, and then he can run underneath them. Ooh.
Alright, so right here will be the death warp at the end of the screen. It's just so easy to figure out. Like, so many people will just randomly get hit there and just, oh hey, I'm at the boss.
Now this quick kill is pretty precise to set up. If you notice, he was kind of stutter stepping there, and also
yeah, I missed it. I couldn't get it on time.
If you don't set it up fast enough, then and you're in the wrong spot, you'll die. It's guaranteed. Nice. No, that was super risky because when you destroy the satellite dish on the top of his head, he will automatically charge forward at you all the time. And so that noise, that charging up noise, was him getting ready to pretty much bowl him over.
Yeah, that fight can be very scary because once the satellite dish is gone, he just rams you basically. So it's a matter of you got to kill him before he kills you. Game of chicken.
And that's also an instance where controlling the bomb with Jenny is pretty crucial in getting that quick kill. And since there's 3 areas of vulnerability, it can be a little taxing at first to learn.
So now basically in the storyline, you've been captured, and you have to find all your partners again, except for Blinky. You have Blinky.
And they've all been hypnotized, so you have these little mini boss fights with them. But they're trivial, as Garrison will show us.
Hardest part is before one of the boss fights. In the beginning of the next screen, there's a very precise jump I need to do or else I'll die. Yeah.
Aww, but yeah.
The idea is basically you save a bunch of time instead of having to wait for the Toad guy to come down. I'm not going to explain it. Jump over lightning. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's because I didn't get that first cycle very well.
Yeah. But she has the same cycles every time, so he knows when to jump and whatnot. Nice.
Kind of a slow kill. But yeah, that jump over lightning is fairly precise, but it's worth going. Otherwise, you just have to wait for the lightning to disappear and the guy to fly away.
Alright, so basically, if you kill the bottom 2 blocks and you attempt to do this will not work because he'll just fire the laser and kill you, but this way is pretty easy.
You can activate the boss fight just by getting, like, even slightly into the chamber on the top of those 2 blocks.
We have time for a few donations, or?
Go for it.
Sure.
All right, sure. Thank you. So we have $40 from Pago saying hello from Austria. First time donating, feels awesome to donate for such a great cause. Shout outs to the great runners. Missing Spike Vegeta for commentating. Just love this guy. P.S. It's dangerous to go alone. Take a Mozart Kugel, a specialty in Austria apparently. Thank you. $100 from Alexander saying you are doing an awesome work. Thank you. And $20 from Nexus DD, saying love watching all the GDQ events. And this is the first time I've gotten the chance to donate to such a great cause. Keep on speedrunning, guys. Also, $200 from Shadow Draft himself, who is here. Thank you so much.
Funny hitboxes in this game.
Yeah, so if you just kind of situate yourself right in the center there, you can kind of just get a haircut rather than die every time.
It's more like a head cut rather than a haircut.
Yeah. Cut his ears off. This is definitely an interesting screen for hard mode, because the game, in hard mode, it's kind of like, come on. Like, this is the first screen where you're just like, come on. They just throw, it's long, there's lots of spikes, and they throw seemingly endless amounts of enemies at you that just kind of fly towards you.
The spikes are also kind of deceptive. You can walk through them as long as they're like halfway through the platform that you're on.
Yeah, they're a lot like the spikes from earlier in the auto-scroller. The song's really good.
Every song in Bucky is so good.
Yeah. The game has an amazing soundtrack. Nice.
So, same concept here. By standing on these two blocks, you don't get hit by his bullet. So, we're all reunited with all of our partners.
Now they're gonna try and take on the magma tanker, but first they have to get there through the salvage chute. There's some very interesting stuff going on in that salvage chute.
So yeah, this first screen salvage chute requires a few specific jumps.
Yeah, like remember the stutter stepping technique from earlier? That is gonna be used here.
Basically, I'm going to hesitate right here to scroll this Toad tank off the screen because he takes like a lot of hits and then he splits apart. So I just don't want to deal with that.
Nice, he didn't walk into the pit.
The jumps, the jumps over those wires back there, it looks a lot easier than what it is. It actually is a really tight jump.
That's one of the times where the hitboxes are pretty unfair against your favor.
I got the fast pattern there.
These
you get
also-
one of two patterns here, depending on the frame you enter. This is a slow one, but I'm still bad. Okay.
That is the most fun part, by the way. You can do that just holding forward. Feels so good.
So now you're seeing Willie's power in action. Basically, is the power to climb up walls when you charge this power, and this will become really useful in Magma Tanker coming up in the next stage.
The good thing about this game is pretty much every character has its use.
Oh, does it?
You said, Willie? He's the boy.
Oh yeah, my bad.
So those little brain slugs, they'll attach that to your head, and they'll make you slow down, like, to about half your speed. And if you get hit with one while you have one on your head, then you'll die.
So yeah, this is just basically a faster way of doing this. Rather than float on the blocks, we'll just go under everything.
The pixel position here is really tight for this kill.
If you don't kill this boss in a certain amount of time, you just...
He'll come down on top of you.
Yeah, so.
Get crushed.
Yeah, that strat is super precise. You have to be right on the right pixels so that those missiles don't go around your bomb and right into your body. And again, if you don't kill him fast enough, he'll just squash you.
Alright. Coming to the magma tanker has a lot of interesting sections to it. You'll see a little, like, I guess, maze coming up in a bit. And first we'll see, my mistake, it's Deadeye, not Willy. His climbing up walls power up is pretty useful in this stage.
You'll notice the television screens in the background have some very interesting messages.
Fun fact, in the Japanese version, it also says "I hate you." It's kind of weird.
Really?
Yeah, I just noticed that this morning.
In case you're wondering, Deadeye is a duck.
Thank you, Riz Killer.
But how many arms does he have, Killa? The screen is just really tough because it's so long. There's a lot of cycles you gotta make, and there's one really precise jump.
Well, it's very fortunate you get to start over from the same act when you die. Unfortunately here, since this act is so long, it kind of stinks to die at the end.
Just gonna go with the safe strat here. These guys are invulnerable, so you basically have to find a way over them. Ideally, you want to charge like as little as you can, but it's very precise, especially the first one. The screen has some very scary jumps.
I've got one.
Yeah.
That's also kind of tricky. Ooh. Alright, so this is the maze section of the stage.
So yeah, the wheel has a a set, I guess, little path through it, but it rotates and it can get you stuck. The dripping water there will kill you. The enemies on the screen will shoot you. You have to prioritize killing them first, for the first two screens at least.
These next screens are incredibly random.
This is like basically the troll section of the game. Those monsters right there, they can basically come at random intervals, and you can be at like the top of the screen because of the snake, and they'll just come and kill you. Like you can be in the middle of a jump, and it'll just spawn, and hey, you're dead.
Nice.
But yeah, those monkeys, if we're falling, can spawn pretty much anywhere at any time, and it's usually on top of you, so it's very easy to just death cycle there.
So normally this boss is very, very difficult. As you can see, they throw everything with the kitchen sink at you. Luckily, wow. Oh no. Oh, he's safe in that spot until this phase. And that's, yeah.
I'm getting some really bad ones.
This is insane.
Oh, wow.
This is the worst.
Okay, you should die.
Nice.
I was commenting earlier, in my practice, I got he does one of three things. There's one good pattern, and then there's two ones that like almost always kill you. And every single practice run and every single bit of practice I did, I got the good pattern, and now I just got like the worst. I knew it was coming. This auto scroller section is pretty long. Deaths are very punishing.
We have a $50 donation from Cypher saying, Bucky, hard for life. Thank you, Cypher.
Thank you, Cypher. Cypher is the main person who's responsible for Bucky O'Hare being a run in general. There's actually a pretty competitive for a little while scene with normal, but Cypher just above and beyond, far better player. Most of the routing was done with his work.
Yeah, the hard part about Escape is, as Gary was saying, there's not a lot of save points here, so, like, okay, basically when he goes to the transition right now, this is a save point, and then it'll be a long time before he gets to the next one.
Yeah, if he had died on those 3 ships there at the end, he would have been taken all the way back to where you jump on the ship.
Oddly enough, this is another save point, like, literally like 2 seconds after we were done with that.
We have a $107 donation from Shy Ranger saying, what's more surprising, how well Garrison's rocking this game or that Mischief Maker's endcam isn't met yet? Well, I can fix one of those things.
One thing worth noting about this section is unlike most shoot 'em ups, your entire hitbox is basically your sprite, so you're just massive, so it's hard to weave in and out around corners, and you'll probably see on one of the bosses coming up in the boss gauntlet, it is just so easy to die to him.
This guy, this fight is very interesting. He's going to destroy these 2 arms, and then the head in the middle will rotate 8 ways and shoot randomly while bouncing randomly around the screen. And, well, you'll see.
Optimally, when you start fighting the snake, you're going to want to switch between Bucky and Willy over here, because Willy does the most damage, and Bucky allows you to shoot backwards, so you can rotate based on where he is. Casually, though, it's not even realistically possible.
Yeah, you pretty much just want to stick to the left wall as Willy. Nice. So that was boss 1 in a gauntlet of 3 bosses here coming to the end of the run. This boss has a very special kind of quick kill. If Garrison aligns himself on the correct pixel, he can do double damage with Willy, and killing this ship in 1 cycle is extremely important.
I hesitated a little bit going up there.
I don't even know.
I got it bad.
Yeah, that was...
My positioning was bad, so I kind of got myself put in a bad place. Getting past his turrets is usually pretty easy, but if you just move slightly wrong, you just end up basically walled in.
So this is the part that's the most crucial part.
He's lining himself up with the plume of that exhaust right there.
All right.
Missed it.
He missed it, so Okay. Well, see, when you miss it, that's why you want to kill as many of those turrets as possible, because if you do miss it, you go underneath the ship, and the turrets will shoot at you, and it's pretty hard to dodge.
The most difficult part about that is when you go underneath the ship also goes down even more, so it makes it extremely difficult to dodge the turrets.
There's just like a very small safe spot that you're in.
Nice. So this is the Toad General. And this is he's gonna be making use of switching to all three, or to 3 of his partners, just based on the way their ship shoots. So you can optimally hit him and dodge his projectile attacks.
Basically, the idea is Willie does double damage whenever the enemy moves right.
There we go.
And time.
Cool. Good time.
Anybody get a death count?
I want to say it was around 16.
I wasn't counting.
I want to say it was like around 16, but I could be wrong.
And that was Bucky O'Hare. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Alright, congratulations, Garrison. Coming next up is Super Meat Boy, a 106% with Mighty Eyes, as well as a fun challenge going along with it, which will be a blindfolded forest run that you guys, well, I should say that Notch helped a lot to fund. This is Speed Demos. This is Summer Games Done Quick, organized by members of SpeedDemosArchive.com, the premier community for video game speedruns, which is completing games as quickly as possible through extensive planning, practice, and knowledge of game mechanics and glitches. Also members from speedrunslive.com, the best site to race video games online against others. Players of all skill levels are welcome to join, whether you'd like to become competitive or just race casually with friends. You can go to the front page speedrunslive.com for more information and to watch a wide variety of speedrun streams. And of course, all of the proceeds go to Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières, an international medical humanitarian organization created by doctors and journalists in France in 1971. Today, MSF provides independent, impartial assistance in more than 60 countries to people whose survival is threatened by violence, neglect, or catastrophe, primarily due to armed conflict, epidemics, malnutrition, exclusion from healthcare, or natural disasters. In 1999, MSF received the Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts. We do have a lot of donations to power through, so I'll read a bit of them while we set up the PC for Meat Boy. We have $60 from M. Piraxius saying, happy to finally catch the stream, game on. $40 from Neji70 saying, Verdier versus Mr. MV, it's a dream, thank you. $35 from David13 saying, this is a really awesome event for a really awesome cause. I've been watching since Sgdq last year. Shout out to Rooster Teeth Ray for making this awesome event known to me. Thank you. We have a $160 donation from Kronos2547 saying, MV, take this and go back to France. We have your bag in France. Thank you so much. To remind me that. $30 from Michael W saying, you guys are amazing. Keep up the work. Loved what I've seen so far, but my sleeping pattern hates you for destroying it. $20 from Taikyo, saying fantastic marathon as always, and it's great to see everyone working together for such a good cause. Really looking forward to the Skyward Sword run. Keep up the good work, guys. $25 from Clément, saying continue your great works and thanks for what you're all doing. And may the MV luck stop soon. Thanks to the work of people like Mr. MV, there's a good community in France, and I thank him for that. Well, thank you guys for doing the French restream over there. We have a French restream over at jeuxvideo.com, and I believe the German restream is down right now, but it's happening at twitch.tv/xz_de. $50 from Pooch, saying shoutouts to everyone behind the scenes making Sgdq what it is every year. Much thanks to everyone who helped put on such an incredible performance for such a noble cause. Thank you all so much. I'm skipping a few donations that had too much French in them, but thank you so much. We got $75 from Big Papa, saying, hi, greetings from Sweden. First time I have managed to watch live. Not disappointed, and I must donate to my favorite game, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and of course to Alucard. Good luck to all runners, and may the RNG be ever in your favor. Thank you, Big Papa. Alucard is way in the lead for the bid on Castlevania Symphony of the Night. If you want a Rector to come back, if you want to see Rector runs, it's time to give. Now, and a lot. $50 from Skinny Hippo, saying all of this is going to Mario Kart 64 because Waffle told me to. So yeah, Mario Kart 64 is gonna happen no matter what. F-Zero GX, the bid for F-Zero GX has been cancelled. You can go on the IRC channel, SDM Marathon, if you want to redirect your donation towards that. $40 from Justin Halloran, saying, I love watching GDQ. Thank you all for the hard work and long hours you put in for a great cause. Thank you. And we're almost done. So yeah, I'd like to remind you as well that on humblebundle.com/sgdq you have an awesome game bundle. All the proceeds will go to Doctors Without Borders, games that are featured in this marathon. You also have the t-shirts over at theyeti.com, as always, great t-shirts. $3 go every time to Doctors Without Borders. A few more donations here. We have $20 from the Weapons Hold, saying, what's up fellas and fellets? I just wanted to say you guys never fail to impress. I hope next year I can impress by running or racing Super Meat Boy. My donation goes to the Chippendale 2, one player to controller challenge since the Meat Boy blindfold challenge is met. Keep it up, and I hope I see you guys soon. Pidzi is apparently not happy that I speak English and has given $35. Thank you very much, Pidzi. And we have $20 from Solin and Thomas.
Oh.
Yeah, just like, yeah, I don't know.
That makes sense. Good to go. All right.
$20 from Solin and Thomas, saying thanks all of us for this great week. We are very happy to see Mr. MV behind the camera.
Weird, I don't want it
Thank
to
you,
just
and that
not
was the last
sound
donation.
like good.
Are we good?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay.
I can hear.
They're gonna move the camera.
Okay. Okay, they're using second camera. They're using both. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. All right. I'm Andrew Pye, and you know, when you're watching a lot of the speedruns, you get to see the runners do their games, but you don't get to know too much about them. So this year at Summer Games Done Quick, in between some breaks, we're going to get to do some Summer Games Done Quick interviews. And we're trying to make it as interactive as we can. So if you've got a question for any of the runners that we're going to have throughout the week, use the hashtag SGDQinterview, and we'll be taking some questions from Twitter during this interview, and we'll be asking the tough ones here. And today with me, I've got 3 runners. I've got Darkman, who ran Mega Man 5. I've got Lovable Lamb Chop, who did Sly Cooper for PlayStation 2 this morning. And then I've got the Boy Wonder over here, Adef, who ran Mega Man 1 as well yesterday. So we're gonna just ask a few questions and just to find out more about you guys. So for the 3 of you, now Darkman, you've been here a couple times, but for Lovable Lamb Chop and Adef, this is your first marathon. How are you guys liking it so far?
It's
It's an amazing time, really, just seeing everything go on, all the hard work that's put into it. It's an amazing time just to see that.
The practice room and everything that goes on behind the scenes is really fun, and getting to meet everybody that you haven't met face to face yet, that's also a really good time.
And for you, Dark Man, I mean, this one, you were at last year's Summer Games in Quick, a little bit of a smaller convention compared to this one. How does it feel from this one compared to last year?
I would say they're both unique in their own ways. They both have their own good sides. Like, it's really fun seeing a big GDQ with like all your friends here and whatnot. But it was also really different being in that small time feel. I'm really glad that I was able to go last year, because being in that kind of small, tight knit, like everybody was like just with each other and whatnot. It's really a different experience. Not to say that in like a bad way, that this is bad or anything.
Mm-hmm. So if you guys could summarize your runs. I mean, again, you guys, most of your runs were yesterday and then this morning. How did you guys feel about your runs so far?
I was really happy with my run personally. It was like around 30 to 35 seconds off my PB, which is more than I can ask for with Mega Man, because anything can go wrong. I mean, I had some mistakes here and there, but overall I was really happy.
Sly Cooper went very, very well for me. I got a 107, about 2.5 minutes off my PB. It went really, really well, so I got a trick that I only have implemented last week in my run, so I'm really happy with that.
Mega Man 1 went pretty smoothly. I think with the retime, I beat Cool Kid's Sgdq time by like 2 seconds, and that was my goal. So other than one death, there were some clutch moments, so I think it went well.
Awesome. All right, and you know, it's only Tuesday. There's so many other runs. What other runs are you guys looking forward to personally?
All right, I'll start off, I guess. The main big one I've been looking forward to ever since like 3 months ago has been Jaden's No EG run for Link to the Past. Mm-hmm. If you guys are not going to watch that, dude, I don't even want to know you. That run is going to be really, really good. But aside from that, there's a lot of awesome runs coming up. Like, for instance, we got Super Meat Boy coming up, of course. We got some fun runs tomorrow by like PJ. Like, we got Turtles, we got Battletoads. There's just so many good runs. I could go on and on.
Like Darkman said, we got Super Meat Boy coming up. We got Bucky later I'm looking forward to. Tomorrow there's a huge block I'm just going to be in here for, both all of PJ's games. The mystery game so far, I've heard it's pretty hype, so I'm really looking forward to that one.
I'm looking forward to 1,000 Year Door. I think that's on Friday night, maybe. Mm-hmm. Super Meat Boy, been looking forward to this. Other than that, what they've said. Oh, and X2.
So we've got a question here on Twitter from Not Kion, and it asks, about how long would you say that you practice for a run? I would say maybe here at like the marathon, and then probably back home when you're just preparing for it maybe a couple weeks in advance.
I personally have been practicing at least the last month, grinding every day, not necessarily all runs, but individual levels a lot. But here at the event, I've just been doing back-to-back runs Sunday and Monday to prepare for yesterday.
I prepared here. I made sure to do at least 2 runs a day from when I arrived up to when my run took place. But before that, even before I got here, I was always grinding out attempts about 5 times a week, I'd say.
Honestly, in the month of June, I didn't do a lot of practice because I did a lot of practice in May, and that's kind of when I just took it down a little bit. But at the marathon itself, I probably spent like a couple hours each day before my run.
I got another question here from, it looks like Fernix. It says, what's life like behind the camera? Lots of fun stuff. You know, Def, you kind of touched upon it, like just the practice rooms, but just outside of, grinding and practicing, what are some of the things that you guys are enjoying so far that's maybe not, that people are seeing on the camera?
Obviously the practice room, like I said, and even off that, the casual room, just going to eat with people, generally just hanging out. I mean, it's kind of what you'd expect.
Yeah, definitely just watching some salty money bets on Mario Kart 8. There's been some money matches going on. But other than that, yeah, just going up to people in the practice room, just taking a seat, watching them practice, talking to them, just asking them a couple questions about their run.
Really, it's just hanging out with everybody. I mean, these are your friends. Like, that's how it is. I mean, that's at least how I see it, and I'm sure that's how many people see it here. These are your friends. You just hang out, whatever you want to do, whether it's in the practice room playing a speed game or just racing in Mario Kart 8, whatever it is, going out to dinner. It's just fun.
All right, so I got one question for each of you, so one last one. It'll be different for each of you, and then we'll close it out. But starting with you, Adef, you are probably one of the youngest runners here, playing one of the oldest games here. I have to know, what got you into playing a game from NES, Mega Man, as opposed to, you know, Call of Duty and getting into those types of games?
Well, most people my age are playing Call of Duty, and I'm going to be honest, those games suck. I mean, the first few are okay, but regardless, I obviously a couple of years ago I heard about Mega Man, so I checked it out, and it was really awesome and a ton of fun, so I couldn't stay away. And then I found out about speedrunning, and so I started playing that game, found the community, and it's honestly a blast.
Awesome. Okay, Global Lamb Chop, for you, you know, a lot of speedrunners, a lot of it's like a Nintendo-based, you know, a lot of people like to do Nintendo games, that's what they grew up with. You did Sly Cooper, which is a Sony game for the PlayStation 2. Were you always kind of a Sony guy growing up? Was that a game you loved when you were young, or how did you get into Sly Cooper?
I got into Sly Cooper. I've always had the game. It was originally my brother's when he first bought it, when it first came out in 2002, and I've always liked it. I've always played it. I've always played it about once a year. But we've also had a bunch of Nintendo consoles as well. It's not just we're solely PS2 or Sony. I have run Secret of Evermore, which is for the Super Nintendo, actually. It's a sort of an RPG.
Mm-hmm. And my last question for you, Darkman, is from a guy, I don't know who he is, some guy named Megiddo or something.
Never heard of him, dude.
He wants to know, when is the God Napalm Man?
The God Napalm Man. You know, I can direct you to a great place where you can watch the God Napalm Man. That would be twitch.tv/BJW. I would highly recommend you go there.
All right, thank you. And we'll be doing this throughout the week, so if you have any questions or if you want to see different runners on this couch during these interviews, be sure to tweet at us using the hashtag Sgdq interview, and we'll see you around. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, we are setting up for Meat Boy. This is Summer Games Done Quick 2014, featuring members from Speedemos Archive and Speedruns Live. Raising money for Doctors Without Borders. Meat Boy 106% is coming up. After that we'll have I Want to Be the Bucky, Huge Run, Dust Force, and Castlevania 64. You can actually decide which character will be played in Dust Force as well as in Castlevania 64. Those are huge bidding wars coming, so don't feel free to donate towards one of those. Donations before we start. We got $75 from Meg Turney saying Super Meat Boy hype. Great job, guys. Thank you. $20 from Wonderbean saying shoutouts to the Super Meat Boy community. I miss speedrunning this game and miss all of you terribly. 6 out of 6 glitch girl get. $20 from Etholin. Etholin here donating from Sweden. Great event so far. And I'm looking forward to the Super Meat Boy run. Keep up the good work and ESA hype.
All right, all the mics are good. Sound check's good. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, Super Meat Boy. This is a game with weird physics and a lot of levels. Really short ones like this one. And a few really weird glitches. It's a game that breaks a lot when you pause it. And this is a 106% run where I will be doing all the levels, all the warp zones, and getting all the bandages.
Maybe we can get a roll call.
I'm sure now.
I'm Dime.
Matty Ice. And a lot of you probably saw this game first when Breakdown ran it at last Sgdq. And he was running on the Xbox version, which is a bit slower. It's got some longer load times and different characters, but and I'm gonna have to replay this level.
So whenever possible, Maddie's going to be trying to get bandages and the A+ at the same time if he can.
A glitch later on will make that a lot easier.
Yeah, this is also a game where Meat Boy doesn't like to jump. And this level's got a pretty cool little skip, if I can get it right. If I can get it right. There we go. That was not A+. So this is Commander Video. This is all you're ever going to see of him.
Poor Commander Video.
My characters seem to be clipping into the ground a little bit, which is weird. And yeah, we need to get an A+ time on every Light World level to unlock the Dark Worlds. Come on. This bandage is a bit annoying to get. Cooperate, Meat Boy.
This is a really difficult level to bandage an A+.
I got it. Whoa. What is going on here? This game also has some weird problems when it doesn't run at like exactly 60 FPS.
Have time for a couple of donations? Not right now.
This is concerning.
Alright.
Meat Boy is sticking to LOLs a lot more than he's supposed to right now. Hopefully that doesn't become a problem later. So instead of going straight to Light Hospital, we're actually going to go back and do the Dark World of Forest right now. This is going to allow us to unlock Joseph much earlier in the run. And if any of you remember Breakdown's run from before, he showed off a nice little glitch with the Pink Knight, which makes him fly really, really high in the air. And Joseph is the equivalent in this game for the PC version. And with him unlocking at about 30 bandages, makes a lot of stuff go faster. And for the most part, using wall jumps is actually going to be much faster than just running in any case, because you're going to get a little bit of a speed boost using a wall jump.
We have a few donations to go through. $20 from D3.
Oh, look, good farming.
Shoutouts to Matty Ice being a speedy guy. May RNGesus bless you, my friend, he says.
So that's Glitch Girl. We're going to find her 6 times in this run. And she's going to give us some cool little secret levels.
So by completing all of the levels and getting all of the bandages, that's going to give you 100%. And then each Glitch Girl gives you an additional 1%. So it's called 106%.
Okay. No cool strats.